Yo, 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 what's up? What it do? What it do? What's happening? What's cracking? What's shaking? What's popping? All that, all that. Salutations to all my people out there on this beautiful Tuesday. You know. I'm gonna talk about this story I came across about this brother named John Ligon. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe Ligon. Joe Ligon. Let me get that correct. He was released from prison after serving 68 years. He is 82 and is the country's oldest juvenile lifer in the United States. First, I want to give props to this man for doing all that motherfucking time. Damn, 68 years? Oh, okay, let me get into the story. Uh, let me find the story. He was a teenager in the 50s, and the world was a period of civil unrest. Relatable. He was battling the impacts of discrimination and segregation. It was also an influx of African Americans who moved from the South to the North. Ligon, a young boy raised on a farm in Alabama, found himself in Philadelphia school systems in the early 1950s at the age of 13. So he was in school. Now, many of the black schools in Philadelphia and around the country experienced the impacts of educational inequity. So he didn't get a solid education back then. Couldn't keep up, and he was illiterate at the age of 15. Still illiterate. Of course, back then it was poverty, homelessness, same thing we're dealing with now. Might have been a little bit more heavier back then because that racism, like now we know it's racism and it's systemic that we talk about. But back then it was more blatant, it was more in your face. Like, nah, nigga, you can't go to this school. You gotta drink out the sewer. You can't drink out the water fountain type shit. Y'all know we ain't finna get into that because I get riled up. It's over. But he got caught up with some guys, riding around. They got caught up with a crime that happened, robbery and a murder. He said he admitted to the robbery, but he didn't kill nobody. He was there, you know. While he was locked up, he spent his days honing his janitorial skills, learning how to read and write. He trained as a boxer, but he never applied for parole. And people tried to get him to do so. A Supreme Court decision eventually declared automatic lifetime term for kids cruel and unusual. The court offered lifetime parole terms, but Ligon refused the offer. He said he liked to be free, but with parole, you get to see the parole people every so often. I can relate. You can't leave the city without permission from parole. That's part of freedom for me. I can relate. He got a chance to experience life now without behind bars. He left the prison with 12 boxes ready to explore the new world. Man, like I said, I want to give props to this brother for doing 70 years riding around with some homies that did something and he just got caught up. You hear what I said? He did 70 years for riding around with some homies and he got caught up on that bullshit. He said he did the robbery, but he didn't do the murder. He took his time. 70 years. Because somebody was killed during the robbery. I look at this in so many ways. So many ways. They gave this brother life at 15. He had no education. He had nothing. So how do you expect somebody who have nothing and know nothing to expect them to do right? How? He hungry. Is homeless. It's nowhere to go. It's poverty. Streets fucked up. Y'all didn't get his brother half a chance, and y'all expect him to grow up and do right by the system? And then y'all get his brother a life sentence? Okay. He did his time and he home. Brother did 70 years, man. Like I say, kudos to you, OG. Flat out. You did that. Hard as a motherfucker. Hard. See how crooked the system is? They didn't try to work with him. They just threw him away. And ain't no telling what happened to the Codies. They could have took the parole. They could have did anything. They could have said, like I'm saying, I don't know. I wasn't there. That was back in the 50s, man. It's a long time ago. Do 70 years? The system fucked up. Don't become a victim of the system. Please don't. Don't become a victim of the system. Don't do nothing or get caught up in nothing that's going to cause you to lose any time in your life because you can't get it back. You cannot get it back. OG done lost so much time, he cannot get it back. Y'all be careful out there. It's your boy Lou from the Loop, man. Holla at me. Peace.